Hey there! Today I'll show you how to create stunning sunbursts in your landscape photography. So let's dive right in. First, what is a sunburst? Well, it's an image of the sun where it appears as a small dot surrounded by star-like rays. Those rays are diffraction spikes created by the aperture blades of your lens when the aperture is made small. A sunburst can add a touch of drama and magic to your shot, and best of all, it's not difficult to do. I've got some awesome tips lined up for you, so grab your camera and let's get started. Tip number 1. Use a small aperture or high f-stop to maximize the diffraction. Aim for a f-stop of between f11 and f22 or even higher. I find f16 as a good starting point. Just be aware that the extreme diffraction can also soften your image. Tip number 2. Shoot at the best time of day. Now, although you can capture sunbursts at any time, even when the sun is high in the sky, the golden hour is often the prime time to include a magical sunburst in your shot. The soft, warm light during sunset and the sun's rays can create a captivating image. Night is also a good time, as you can see in this image. Bright lights in the scene that are sufficiently small will also produce starbursts. On to tip number 3. Use a shorter focal length, like a wide-angle lens or a standard lens. By using a shorter focal length, the sun will appear more like a point of light, allowing diffraction to create a more defined sunburst effect. However, if you use a longer focal length, this will provide more magnification and make the sun appear as a disk, and you won't get the effect appearing. Tip number 4. Block part of the sun's disk to make the sun appear smaller to enhance diffraction and the sunburst effect. You can do this by using elements like leaves, branches, trees, mountains, or even clouds. This helps to create captivating sunbursts even at short telephoto focal lengths. I use the leaves in a fruit tree when taking this shot with my Canon RF 24-105mm f4 lens. The focal length was 100mm and the aperture f16. Tip number 5. Look for a clear piece of sky. Haze, mist or smoke can diffuse the light of the sun, so it's no longer a point of light. You can see how thin cloud in this shot has diminished the sunburst effect. However, the sky doesn't need to be completely clear. A clear gap in the clouds can help create a dramatic effect. Tip number 6. Choose the right lens. Avoid a lens that is prone to creating unwanted flares. The sunburst can end up looking messy. Also, the number and shape of the aperture blades will influence the appearance of the sun rays or diffraction spikes. An even number of aperture blades will produce the same number of spikes, but an odd number of blades produce double the number of spikes. So you can also choose a lens based on whether you like a lot of sun rays or fewer. Experiment with different lenses to find the style that suits your vision. Tip number 7. Avoid internal reflections and dust motes. With some lenses, shooting towards the sun can be a challenge due to reflections and flares. If you normally shoot with a UV filter fitted, removing it can often help, especially at the minimum focal length of a zoom lens. Also, ensure the lens and the camera sensor are clean, otherwise dust motes can become more visible when shooting at smaller apertures. Tip number 8. Manage your exposure. The sun is incredibly bright, so you need to carefully manage your exposure settings. Start by setting your ISO to the lowest value, like 100, to minimize noise. Then adjust your shutter speed while keeping an eye on your histogram to avoid clipping the shadows and highlights. Underexposing by 1 or 2 stops usually works, and you can bring back the details in the shadows in post-processing by lightening the shadows. To summarize, use a small aperture like f16 and shorter focal lengths although you can get sunburst at short telephoto focal lengths. If you do use a slightly longer focal length, you may need to increase the f-stop. Partly blocking the sun will also help, and if you can make the surrounding background darker, the sunburst will be more noticeable. You can see the effect if the sun is slightly blocked as it sets behind a mountain ridge, or the sun is shining through a gap in the clouds. Remember, practice makes perfect, so don't be afraid to experiment. Thanks for joining me today, and if you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up and hit that subscribe button for more videos. Until next time, cheerio!